Dana Loesch receiving a flurry of death threats on Twitter following the Jacksonville shooting, including one targeting her children. The user writing, "The only way these people learn is if it affects them directly." So if Dana Loesch has to have her children murdered before she'll understand, I guess that's what needs to happen.
Yeah, but according to the social media giant, that tweet did not violate their rules. Twitter has since locked the user's account, conceding that wishing death upon someone is in fact against their rules.
Good thinking.
But is that enough? Here with her message for Twitter is nationally syndicated talk show host Dana Loesch. Dana, harrowing couple of days for you. Do you feel as though that your worries have been assuaged?
Well, I'm concerned about, I think my biggest thing in all of this is I just want social media platforms to treat users consistently. We just had a horrible tragedy take place, and we have families that are still grieving. And individuals, I think, believe that it is some form of advocacy to go out and continue to add to the nastiness and to the hate of the political environment by making remarks like these towards other individuals. And I get a ton of them. It's not just me. There are a lot of other conservative women, Katie knows this all too well, that receive all kinds of remarks and threats like this. I don't even share the serious ones. And it should not be, this should not be the rule. This should be the exception. But the sad thing is, as I was saying, we just had a tragedy take place. And instead of focusing on helping victims' families, and instead of focusing on actual solutions, things that we can do to make sure these things never take place again, we have to deal with situations where you have crazy people running amok on Twitter and Twitter having inconsistent applications of terms of service. And that's what this comes down to. I'm not asking for the government to step in and regulate social media platforms. I'm not asking for new legislation. I'm simply asking for people like Jack Dorsey and Mark Zuckerberg and these individuals who own these platforms to maybe rein in their employees' biases and evenly and consistently apply and enforce terms of service.
And
that's
Dana,
it.
This goes to your bigger point, right? I mean, there have been a number of conservatives, both high profile and not, who have been shadow banned for far less than what was said to you about your children.
Right. I mean, just the other day, Kathleen McKinley, who is a wonderful woman, a sweet Christian lady, wrote a column in a newspaper, shared it, and because the topic of that column, and it was a well-written piece, because the topic of that column apparently triggered someone, she ended up being temporarily suspended. And as you said, there have been a number of accounts, individuals who do nothing more than engage in advocacy or do what every other user on the right and left does, and they find themselves shadow banned because they're effective or someone decides to target them.
Hey, Dana,
enough is enough. I mean, it has to be even.
The plan all along, I believe, was to push back on conservatives and suppress their vote come midterms, but they never expected this pushback on their pushback.
Yeah.
And this is another example.
Well, thank you,
Loesch,
Dana.
thank you.
And stay safe, too.
It is.
Stay safe.
Thank you all.
All right.
Thank you.